It's safe to say that everyone wants to be an educated person. Do you need to have an advanced degree to look like one? No, but there are certain characteristics that make you look uneducated whether you do it on purpose or unintentionally. Here is our list of 15 characteristics that show signs of a low-educated person. Welcome to Investing Alpha. Without further ado, let's get right into it. First, do you know someone who simply can't help but judge everyone they meet? Those people are judgmental. They never say anything nice about anyone's work or efforts are always critical. Well, what if they are just difficult to please? Obviously, this person has an extremely high standard and believes everyone else should. However, those with extraordinarily high standards are not the same as those who give constructive criticism that just want you to improve. In fact, most people who judge and criticize others too much are guilty of the same things they criticize others for. Number 2, those who are reckless with words. People with low levels of education often make the mistake of speaking without first considering the consequences of the words. Intelligent individuals know you shouldn't just blurt out every thought. Instead, you should give it some thought before expressing it. Is this the appropriate comment to make? If I were to say anything to this individual, what impact would it have on them right now? If you think before you talk, you put a lot of effort into your cognition, which shows high emotional intelligence. Number 3, people who can't think for themselves. Isn't it annoying when people take the word of others as gospel without bothering to check the facts for themselves? Your opinions should show what you believe in and what you stand for. If you choose to follow a person's opinion without question, their views will eventually shape your own. Creating your own opinions is a good way to figure out more about yourself and can also help you become more self-aware. But when someone with low education let other people's opinions, beliefs, and even untested evidence rule their lives, it becomes trickier to be self-aware. Most of the time, they won't even give themselves a chance to know who they really are. Number 4, people who are full of themselves. No matter how brilliant, gorgeous, or skilled you are, the world does not revolve around you, and this is a harsh truth that everyone should accept. People who only care about themselves are usually rude and don't care how others feel. Everything has to be about them. So if you tell your pals that you were in a tragic accident a few weeks ago, the self-absorbed one could disregard your accident and respond by saying that they too have experienced something far worse. They manipulate others to get what they want, the spotlight, because they are so self-centered that they can't bear to be anything but the center of attention. Watch out for them. Remember those who can't form their own opinions? Well, take it to another level, and we have our number 5. Those who are easily influenced by what other people say and do. Everyone can be influenced, but it's concerning if you can take charge of your own life and won't stop caring what other people say before making even the smallest choices. Here's a fast experiment. I'll ask you some questions to know how easily influenced you are. The first is whether you're always trying to win people over. Second, do you worry that you'll upset other people? What's your tendency to say no to people? And do you often struggle to say yes when you really mean no? Answer these questions honestly. It will show you whether you've been letting other people's judgments of you impact your daily life and your choices. Number 6, laziness. They don't try to improve themselves at all. You can tell they could have put more effort into their education when they practice this. They do nothing to improve their skills or character. When an individual is too stuck in their comfort zone, they don't see a need for improvement. They think, what do I have to do more when my bare minimum is good enough? But the reality is that you're never going to fulfill your full potential by doing the bare minimum. And you may never accomplish the outrageous ambitions you've always had. You might be stuck in a rut since you can't figure out what you want. Still, instead of doing nothing, you might try revisiting a forgotten interest from your youth or giving a little more to anything that captures your attention. As mentioned before, those who are self-centered often lack self-awareness, and that is our number 7. When you aren't self-aware, you can't see how your emotions, habits, and daily life affect each other. If you're reading this, congratulations! You've made the first step toward greater self-awareness by actively seeking to identify and understand the qualities that set you apart from others and strengthen your uniqueness. Self-awareness is a step that even the least educated people take. Still, rather than working on themselves, they bury their problematic traits inside, believing they'll never come out again. It will greatly impact their day-to-day choices and relationships unless they decide to confront these issues. 8. Being ignorant and staying ignorant. What's worse than someone who knows nothing? Someone who doesn't recognize their own ignorance. The first step in learning is admitting that you don't know something. Learning something new is easier if you acknowledge your ignorance. Companies will give up on you if you refuse to educate yourself. After all, no one values mediocrity, and there is no room for improvement in a person who is unwilling to learn. Number 9. Along with ignorance is failing to learn from past mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake once. Everyone does. It is by making errors that we gain experience and insight. If you commit the same mistakes again, you might require a bit more time to set things right. But when you repeat the very same mistakes 3, 4, or 5 times, there is clearly an issue. People with low levels of education often need to reflect on their errors and hence don't improve. If you don't know why you're doing something wrong, you'll keep making the same mistakes until you find out why. Number 10. The lack of willingness to learn. Intelligent folks are constantly interested in learning something new, even if it has little to do with their current career. However, those with low levels of education tend to do the opposite. They prefer to stick on the little bit of information they have rather than seek out for more. Number 11. They are all talk. Have you ever sat through someone's talk and wished they just stopped talking already? Even though it may seem harsh, you agree that folks who can't seem to shut up are irritating. To put it bluntly, no one likes a companion who always talks about themselves, their new shoes, their boo, their vacation to the Bahamas, or the person they just met. Friends that know the value of an ear and are willing to lend one when needed are what we're after. Number 12. Low self-confidence. It's not the end of the world if you're not naturally intelligent. You can improve your IQ with hard work. But many people with low levels of education accept the assumption that they are unintelligent and let it influence their sense of worth and confidence, leading them to belittle their own potential. Sadly, when they begin to feel they aren't good enough, this belief spreads to others, and they find it difficult to make friends. While some of these people may have the necessary skills, employers don't want them on their teams because they need more confidence in their abilities. Believe in yourself and it changes everything. Number 13. Being insensitive. In most cases, someone with a low education level will also have low emotional intelligence. Because of this lack of EQ, they have trouble empathizing with others. Alternatively, they may be aware of the other person's emotions yet choose to ignore them. Someone with a low IQ could make fun of another person for taking a joke too seriously or attempt to make it look like the other person isn't funny rather than admitting they were wrong. This displays an insensitivity to others' emotions and a total absence of empathy. Number 14. It's always someone else's fault when things go hard for them. It would be great if we were never responsible for any problems we encountered. If this is true, we will never bear any responsibility for our difficulties. Putting the blame on others might help us feel better in the short term, But the truth is that we are usually the ones to blame for our own mistakes. Whether the outcomes of our choices and actions are positive or negative, we are entirely to blame for them. A low-educated individual will constantly look for someone or anything to blame. Yes, our problems are often caused by things outside our control, but never taking responsibility for our actions won't let us grow as a person. Last but not the least, they are doing the same things but expecting different outcomes. We hate to be the ones to burst your bubble, but you can't expect different results by doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome each time. You'll come out as completely insane and, at best, a complete fool. It's simple. If you want different results than before, you must take a new approach. So there you have it, 15 characteristics of a low-educated person. Tell me, do you recognize yourself in any of these on the list? If that's the case, you need to start making changes, and you should keep in mind that we're here to assist you in improving, not to criticize you. We've all got our own problems to solve, and the first step is learning to take a good look at ourselves and work towards making a change. Since you've made it this far into the video, you deserve a reward for staying. As a bonus, number 16. They have a superiority complex and think lowly of other people. Putting others down because of who they are or where they are in life is never acceptable. A person with a low level of education probably won't think twice about treating the bartender rudely since they don't see themselves as on equal footing with the worker. But is this the proper way to treat other people? Definitely not. So don't do it. Thank you for watching and staying till the end. Please give us a like if you enjoy this content. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an upload.